Barbie. Christmas with Barbie. Can you think of any better way to spend a happy holiday than sharing the good times, sharing the fun? So won't you come along with us, because the party's just begun. Christmas with Barbie. Christmas with Barbie. Is there anywhere you'd rather be than gathered round the Christmas tree, sharing the laughter, sharing the fun? So won't you come along with us, because the party's just begun. Let's spend Christmas with Barbie. After all the months of waiting, Christmas with Barbie. Now the time for celebrating here. So let's spend Christmas with Barbie this year. Christmas with Barbie. Christmas with Barbie. Can you think of any better gift than to spend the 25th laughing with Barbie, singing with Barbie? What a perfect way for the year to end with a friend like Barbie. So let's spend Christmas with Barbie. After all the months of waiting, Christmas with Barbie. Now the time for celebrating here. So let's spend Christmas with Barbie this year.
Hi, everybody. This is Barbie. We all know that Christmas is a special holiday, but I'd like to tell you about one Christmas that was very different from any other I've ever had. It began simply enough on Christmas Eve. Ken and I were wrapping presents.
Well, Barbie, do you think Scott will like this gift? It's a toy rocket with an astronaut inside. Looks pretty real, doesn't it?
It sure does. Oh, I know he'll really like it. You know how much he likes space toys. And how about this gorgeous doll I found for Skipper? Isn't she beautiful in her white gown?
Hey, I've got an idea. Why not put Scott and Skipper's presents under the tree unwrapped? That way, when we all get together tomorrow to open the gifts, those will be the first gifts they see.
Oh, you know, Ken, that's a great idea. Besides, I'm tired from all the shopping we did today.
Me too. I think I'm going to start home. I'll see you tomorrow, Barbie. Bye.
Good night, Ken, and Merry Christmas. A few minutes later, I went upstairs to my room. It had been a long day, and I was very tired. The room was a little stuffy, so I opened the window just a bit to let in some fresh air. The bed was so soft that it didn't take me long to fall into a deep sleep. That's when the dream began. This dream was different from any dream I had ever had before. The colors were so bright that it hardly seemed like a dream at all. I know I was still asleep, but I remember opening my eyes and looking around the room. But I wasn't in my bedroom. I was downstairs in the living room under the Christmas tree. And the strangest part of all is that I was very small. The Christmas tree towered overhead as tall as a skyscraper. I looked at the clothes that I was wearing, and that's when I realized I had become the doll under the tree. I blinked my eyes and looked around the room. Everything was so very large. The legs of a nearby chair seemed as tall as pillars. All around me were Christmas presents as big as houses. "Oh, this is very strange," I said aloud. Suddenly, a jack-in-the-box that was nearby popped open. Oh, it gave me quite a scare.
Hey, what's so strange about it? oh, I know. You didn't think toys could talk, did you, my sweet?
Well, no, I didn't. But now, well, I'm not so sure.
And just what do you think we do all day when the humans aren't around? Of course we talk. We dance and sing. We do anything we feel like doing. Just as long as we stop before they see us.
They? Who are they?
Why, the humans, of course.
The humans? But I'm a human.
Oh, really? You could have fooled me. She thinks she's a human. Oh, that's rich. Oh,
But I am a human. I am. This is all a dream. And not a very pleasant one at that.
Okay, Jack, you've had your fun. Now leave the poor girl alone. Can't you see you're frightening her?
I was not frightened of a silly jack-in-the-box, just perplexed. This is some dream.
Well, dream or not, here you are, so as long as you're here, you may as well enjoy yourself. Let me introduce you to your new neighbors. I'm Theodore Bear, but all my friends just call me Teddy. Oh, the cute little number over there by the train set is Fifi, the French poodle.
Oh, bonjour, mon chéri, bonjour.
Oh, yeah, and the big pile of metal and flashing lights over there, well, that's Tobar, the battery-powered robot. But you better watch out for him. He can be a real bully sometimes.
I resent that unwarranted accusation. I am no bully. You are simply jealous of my superior intelligence. Not all of us are filled with sawdust and dried beans, you know.
Oh, go recharge your batteries, you overgrown tin can, before I take a can opener to you.
I'd like to see you try it, you spring break.
Gentlemen, please. Not in front of our guest.
And who is that over there by the rocket ship? He looks familiar to me.
Oh, that's Captain Kenneth, ma'am. He's the astronaut. You know, he's another one of those newfangled toys. But I gotta say, he's much nicer than old Tobar.
Captain Kenneth. I'm sure I know him from somewhere, but I can't seem to remember where.
Well, that's the whole family. But we have forgotten to meet one person.
Who is that?
Why, you, of course.
Oh, how silly of me. I'm Barbie.
Well, Barbie, as official spokesman of this toy community, let me welcome you to Toyland.
All the toys under the tree danced and sang for me. Round and round they marched. Suddenly, we heard a scream. Oh, mon Dieu, help me! Oh! Everyone stopped dancing and turned to see what was wrong.
Oh my golly, it's Tobar. He's on the rampage. One of his tubes must have come loose. He's going wild and he's scaring Fifi half out of her wits.
Sure enough, the big robot was sparking and spinning wildly about the room. It was a terrible sight.
Unable to control movement. Check central wiring system. Automatic shutdown malfunctioning. Need assistance. Mayday, mayday. Someone stop me. Stop me. Stop me.
Just
stop
then,
me, stop
Robot
me.
smashed headfirst into the wall. He turned around and, to my horror, started straight toward me. Smoke was pouring from his ears and loose wires sparked and snapped like snakes.
Run, Barbie, run! That big bag of bolts is heading right for you!
Quick, Barbie, move! Tobar's out of control. Oh my gosh, I can't look.
Tobar was charging towards me so fast I hardly had time to think. Just when it seemed he would run right over me, the cockpit of the rocket ship flew open and out leaped the astronaut.
Look, Teddy, it's the captain! He's going to save her!
The astronaut ran towards the crazy robot and tried to climb up his back, but the robot was too hot. He couldn't hold on.
Oh my goodness, look at those sparks. If someone doesn't stop him, he'll burn the whole Christmas tree down.
Quickly, the astronaut tossed a long rope high in the air. It wrapped around one of Tobar's antennas and stuck there. Then he tied the other end of the line to the base of the tree. Just when it seemed that Tobar would run right over me, the line grew tighter and the big robot stopped in his tracks. He rocked from side to side while blue sparks and smoke flew everywhere.
Regret malfunction. Unable to stop. I am Tobar. I am not programmed for violence. Batteries failing. I am Tobar, 4D cell robot toy designed to meet all current safety standards. I am Tobar. Tobar, help me.
Without any warning, the robot spun around once and fell to the ground. He landed on the floor with such a crash that he rattled every ornament on the tree.
Hooray!
Oh, I'm saved! Thank you! My knees were still knocking when the astronaut came to my side.
Are you all right, miss? That was a close call.
I'll say, but I think I'm all right. Thanks to you, that is. How can I ever repay you, Mr. Oh, how silly. Here I am thanking you, and I don't even know your name.
Kenneth, ma'am. Captain Kenneth, U.S. Starship Command. And as for repaying me, let's just say you owe me one. I was happy to have been of service.
Service? I would have been crushed by that crazy robot if you hadn't stopped him. Oh, listen to me. Here I am going on, and you don't even know who I am. I'm Barbie.
Barbie? What a familiar name. Have we met before?
It's funny that you should ask me that, because just a few minutes ago I was wondering the same thing. I don't recall ever meeting you, and yet somehow I feel as if we had met before. Do you understand?
Of course. I feel the same way, too. You know, Barbie, I was just wondering if perhaps...
I would like to go for a ride in your spaceship?
How did you know?
Oh, don't ask me. I'm learning not to question anything in this crazy world. As for the rocket, I'd love to. But where shall we go? I don't know much about space travel.
I was thinking of a small trip to a nearby planet. Just a short ride, really. Shall we go?
I'd love to, Captain. All the toys waved goodbye as Captain Ken and I boarded the rocket for takeoff.
Goodbye, Barbie. We're gonna miss you. Come back real soon.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff.
Everyone cheered as the rocket rose up off the ground. With the captain at the controls, we flew through the branches of the Christmas tree. As we circled the room once, I waved to my new friends. Then Captain Ken fired the main engine, and we flew out an open window into the star-filled Christmas sky. We've hardly spoken, we've never met.
I know that this is the first time, and yet
There's something about you that I recognize.
the warmth of your smile,
the glow in your eyes.
I've been a dreamer, lost in the sky,
Thinking that romance was passing me by.
then you came along and made it all clear. Everything's brighter now that you're here. You look just like someone I love. You look just like someone I've longed for. You look just like someone I've been dreaming of. You look just like someone I love. Excuse me if I stare, but I think I know you from somewhere, You look just like someone I love. You look just like someone I've longed for. You look just like someone I've been dreaming of. You look just like someone I love. You look just like someone I love. You look just like someone I've longed for. You look just like someone I've been dreaming of. You look just like someone I love. You look just like someone I love. You look just like someone I've longed for. You look just like someone I've been dreaming of. You look just like someone I love. You look just like someone I love. You look just like someone I've longed for. You look just like someone I've been dreaming of. You look just like someone I love. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a rocket into space. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a rocket into space. We're on our way tonight, past Jupiter and Mars, at twice the speed of light. We're sailing through the stars. How the engines ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing the rocket song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a rocket into space. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a rocket into space. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. 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 Jingle bells, jingle all the
Look, Ken! Down there! Oh, what a strange-looking planet that is! You can hardly see it through the clouds. Oh, let's go down for a closer look. Do you know its name?
That's Arcticana, frozen, solid as a rock.
Frozen? What about the people who live there? How do they stay warm?
They don't. The only people left are the Snow Queen and her army of icicles. Everyone else is gone. The Snow Queen is not the friendliest monarch in this corner of the galaxy. We should keep our distance.
Well, tell me a little more about this planet. Has it always been so cold?
Oh no, there was a time when it was as warm as Earth.
Really? What happened? Did it shift its polar axis?
No, it's much simpler than that. For years, the people of Arcticana had all the heat they needed. They had great underground deposits of oil and gas. You know, fossil fuels left over from another time when it was warmer. But rather than conserve them and use them wisely, the people wasted their fuel on large cars and overheated buildings, till one day they just ran out. That's when the Snow Queen took over. Now she rules the whole planet.
Oh, it sounds awful.
It is, because once fossil fuels are gone, they can't be replaced. At least not for a couple 100 million years or so. Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
I don't know. We seem to be losing altitude.
Oh no, is something wrong with the ship?
I don't think so. It's more like some sort of gravitational beam. Whatever it is, it's pulling us closer to Arcticana.
Sure enough, Ken was right. In a few short minutes, the ship was on frozen ground. We found ourselves in the throne room of the Snow Queen herself.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. If it isn't Ken and Barbie, how nice of you to come and visit.
Visit? Don't be ridiculous. You know good and well you forced our ship down with your ray.
Silence! You infidel. You will speak only when spoken to. Do you understand?
I think you'd better do as she says, Barbie. Let me try another tactic. Greetings, Your Highness. It is an honor to be granted an audience with the great Snow Queen.
What are you saying?
Shh, she's very vain. It's her only weakness. We must confess, Your Refrigerated Excellency, that our visit to your planet is not without selfish motives.
I knew it. You are thieves. Or spies, perhaps? Tell the truth, you warm-blooded devil.
Oh, no, Your Glacial Grandness. You mistake our nature. We are simple music lovers, and your beautiful voice is fabled to the farthest reaches of the universe.
Oh, is it really?
Why, of course. And we were hoping that you might favor us with one of your illustrious compositions. She has the voice of a penguin, but at least if she's singing, she won't be after our heads. Tell us, Your Frosty Perfection, will you grant us this great honor?
Well, since you phrased it so sweetly, perhaps I might be persuaded to dispense with one of my humble creations. Musicians, please. I am ready to begin. I like iced coffee. I like iced tea. I like ice cold snowmen, and the snowmen like me. I like ice water. I like ice cream. And when the temperature starts rising, I start to scream.
What did you think? Lovely, was it not?
Oh, Your Highness, it was, well, it was...
Say it, girl. Say it.
It was awful. Someone's got to tell you the truth.
Oh, now you've done it.
I'm sorry, it just slipped out, but she was terrible.
Forgive her your sub-zero supremacy. What she meant to say was...
Her meaning was more than clear. Well, my sweet young thing, if you didn't like my singing, perhaps you'll like my hospitality better. Guards! Guards! Seize these two at once and take them to the deep freezer for safekeeping.
Quick, Barbie, let's make a run for it. This way, and fast!
Quickly, Captain, Ken, and I ran past the Snow Queen and her guards. We ran through the frozen corridors of the ice castle and out into the snowy hills that led to the rocket ship. By now, the snow was falling harder. When Ken and I finally reached the ship, it was almost buried in ice and snow. Right behind us, in cold pursuit, came the evil Snow Queen and her guards. We could hear them getting closer by the minute.
After them, you icicles!
Hurry, Barbie, get inside the ship before those overgrown popsicles catch up with us. If we don't take off soon, we'll be stuck in this ice and we'll never be able to leave. I don't know about you, but I don't feel like spending the rest of my life in cold storage.
We leaped inside the rocket ship and slammed the hatch shut behind us.
Okay now, strap yourself in, good and tight. This could be a pretty rough takeoff. Are you ready?
Ready as I'm ever going to be. Let's go for it. We felt a rumble as Ken fired the first rocket. The big ship rattled and shook, but it didn't take off.
Oh no, I was afraid of this. We must be frozen to the ground by all this ice. The engines don't seem to be strong enough to break loose.
Well, we've got to do something. I hear the Queen and her guards getting nearer. Can't we fire the engines all at once? That would break up the ice for sure.
Oh, it's too dangerous. It could break the ship in two pieces. Then we would really be out in the cold. No, we have got to think of something else.
I've got it. Why not drain off some of the hot water from the ship's cooling system onto the ice? Perhaps it might melt enough ice to free us. What do you think?
It's risky, but it's worth a try. I just hope we'll have enough water to keep the ship from overheating on the flight back to Earth.
Ken pushed the water ejection button and hot water poured out onto the ice. We both held our breath as he fired up the big rockets once again. As we looked out the window, a huge cloud of steam rose up around the rocket as the powerful engine strained against the ice. Suddenly there was a loud cracking sound, and in an instant, the ice gave way. The rocket lifted up off the snowy ground and soared through the gray clouds that surrounded the frozen planet.
I've got to hand it to you, Barbie. That was fast thinking under pressure. You probably saved both our lives.
Well, Captain, that makes us even. Remember when you saved me from Tobar? You said I owed you one. I just evened up the score. Now, how long will it take us to get back? It's almost Christmas morning, and if we're not back under that tree, I know 2 kids who are going to be awfully disappointed.
It shouldn't be too long now. Oh, by the way, before we get back, I have something to give you. It's a little trinket I picked up as we were leaving the Snow Queen's castle. I thought you might want it as a souvenir.
Ken handed me the most beautiful necklace I had ever seen. On the end hung a crystal snowflake. It shimmered in the starlight. Oh, thank you. It is so beautiful. I'll keep it always to remind me of my trip to the stars.
Uh-oh. The warning lights just came on. I think we're in trouble again. We're running out of water. I don't think we'll have enough to make it back home without overheating the engines.
Are we going to crash?
I don't know. I'll turn off the rockets and try to bring the ship down.
Good idea.
Get ready for impact. Fasten your safety belt. Barbie? Barbie, can you hear me? Barbie? Barbie? Barbie!
Oh no! We're going to crash! Look out! Suddenly, I opened my eyes and sat straight up in bed. I was back in my own room. It had all been a dream. No wonder I dreamed about a frozen planet, I thought. I had left the bedroom window open all night long. I walked over to the window to shut it. When I looked out, I saw a beautiful sight. During the night, a big snowstorm had arrived and left behind piles and piles of fluffy white snow. Everything was covered with a thick layer of white. The ice glistened in the morning light, just like it had in my dream. Later that morning, Skipper, Scott, Ken, and I all gathered around the Christmas tree to share our gifts with one another. Scott thought the spaceship that Ken gave him was terrific, and Skipper just fell in love with the doll I gave her. Finally, it was my turn.
Here, Barbie. This is for you.
Ken handed me a small box wrapped in shiny silver paper.
They say nice things come in small packages. I hope you like it.
Oh, I know I will. Carefully, I opened the package and looked inside. To my amazement, there was a necklace exactly like the one I had received in my dream. I picked up the crystal snowflake and held it in my hand. Ken must have seen the shock on my face.
What's the matter, Barbie? Don't you like it?
Of course! I love it. It's just that, well, I'd tell you, but you'd never believe me. I think I'd better just keep it to myself as my very own Christmas secret. Thanks, Ken, for making this the most wonderful Christmas of my life.
Christmas with Barbie. Christmas with Barbie. Can you think of any better way to spend a happy holiday than sharing the good times, sharing the fun? So won't you come along with us, because the party's just begun. Christmas with Barbie.